Good gardening morning, family and friends. This is fertilizer weekend, and it's hot here in East Texas, so make sure you have your protective equipment on. Let's get to fertilizing. As you can see, our corn that we planted last weekend is almost 6 inches high. So we're going to fertilize this corn as well as the corn in the back, which is up to a foot high. Now when I put my drip tape in, I put in little faucets so that I can turn off drip tape as I want to. And I'm going to fertilize the entire garden, but I'm going to hit these guys with a little something different than I do the rest of the garden. I'm going to hit them with extra nitrogen because they like nitrogen, and since my soil is phosphorus poor, I'm going to hit it with a little extra phosphorus. And you know I'm a chemist, so I did do my soil tests before I started this. So I've got my Haas tool fertilizing apparatus here, and I hooked this up straight to the irrigation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fertilizer in here that I dissolved in water overnight. And anything that didn't dissolve, we're going to leave in here. Then we're going to fill this to the top. Then we're going to put our little apparatus in here. And I always seem to have a problem with one of these hoses coming off, but that's okay. We're going to get her done. All right. Hose malfunction. Okay. All right. Let's try this. Okay, fertilizing has commenced. Now this is not the only fertilizing we're going to do today. We're going to fertilize all of our fruit trees and then the rest of the garden. So let's get to it. On hot days like this, and it's only about 7:30 in the morning and it's already super hot, you gotta have water. Now, I did make my own fertilizer mix here. This is primarily coffee grounds and eggshells. I ground my eggshells, but you don't have to. And I mixed it with a couple of months of coffee grinds. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to rake back a portion of the mulch, and I'm going to put this down and put the mulch right back over it and water it in. Not everything in the garden needs to be just veggies. Look at these beautiful pink zinnias. I had some volunteers come up from the last year, and so we got some other colors besides pink. We've got some orange and some yellow, but these add beauty to our front entryway, and they attract pollinators, which is great for our garden. Here we have our peanuts, and they've begun to bloom. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to take you in for a close-up. They're beautiful little yellow blossoms, and so we're going to start making peanuts. This is our first one right here. I see another bloom over there, but let's look at this. Well, here we have some of our herb garden. These are oregano and they're blooming quite beautifully. Over here we have our sage, our thyme, and some basil. The basil's just barely getting up out of the ground. Here's Ava Brown, our Texas ever-bearing brown fig. And there are 4 figs on this side. I did fertilize her with the same things that I fertilized the blueberry trees with. And we're gonna water her in probably this evening or tomorrow morning. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. I may hold off until Tuesday if it doesn't rain. Here's Frosty, our Arctic frost lemon tree. And as you can see right here, we have our 2 lemons doing wonderfully well, and we have some new growth. Just to the side of Frosty, we have Cyrus, our Persian lime tree. Now, Cyrus doesn't have any blooms and doesn't have any fruit on him, but we're going to give him a little bit of time. It almost feels like little Satsu's in the middle of a jungle, but she seems to be getting enough light. So I'm leaving her here for now and not cutting anything down. Satsu does have a couple of small fruits on her, so we're going to hope for the best. I'm glad that she lost all the others, because if she had kept all 50 fruit that she appeared to have, she would be bent over. Y'all check out these peas. A beautiful, beautiful pea pod there. Got lots of blooms going, got lots of white blooms, lots of yellow blooms, lots of pea pods. This group I think is gonna come in before this other group that we planted last weekend gets started. I'm still picking beans on the side here, green beans, but I expect them to stop within another 3 or 4 weeks. Over here we have our okra. And as you can see, I need to pick because I've got a rather long pod here. This is about as long as you want them to get. Let me bring you in closer and show you. So by comparison, you can see my hand here and the size of that okra. Probably time for that one to go, and I see a few others ready. So I think we'll be having some fried okra soon. Now, over to the side here, you can see the peas we planted last Sunday, and you can see that they're 4 to 6 inches high. So we will have 2 sets of peas coming in. We'll have the pink eye purple hull peas first, and then we'll have the Texas cream 40 pea next. Now guys, check out these tomatoes. We've got lots of lovely orange ones. We've got white or yellow ones. We're supposed to have some white ones. We've got some blue ones. We've got black creme, Bella Rosa, and Amish paste. Did a lot of picking last week. Gonna get this fertilized, and we should have more picking in the next few weeks. Next to my tomatoes, I have some eggplants and then peppers. So I want to show you that my eggplant here has a bloom that was open yesterday and is closing today, so hopefully it's fertilized. And we'll have eggplant. Never grown eggplant before, so this will be a new journey. I also have a very long pepper here, and I didn't use the garden marker. I used a Sharpie. I will not do that again because I can't read my tags now, so I'm not sure exactly what kind of pepper it is, but let me show you a close-up of it. Hey everybody, this is my fence of rattlesnake whole beans. I picked so many beans off of this particular fence so far that I have canned 10 pints of green beans, and I've had fresh eating. So I know that they're still blooming. They may stop when it gets hot, but they're supposed to pick up again in the fall. And so I think I'm going to leave these up as a test crop. If we head into July and August and they look like they're just dead, I'll pull them up and replant something else here. I do want some of these to go to seed so that I have them for next year. Guys, these are my cucumbers and my volunteer beans. I've got some zucchini still left in here, as well as some yellowneck squash. My pumpkins are over here. they're vining out, but I noticed today we have squash vine borers. So I'm going to wait until Tuesday evening before I spray some organic spray out here, because if I spray tonight, which is really when you want to spray so that you don't get your bees, then it's going to be washed off if it really does rain tomorrow. So I'm going to spray tomorrow all of my squash and my cucumbers, and we do have some cucumbers here. Let me see if I can pull this one off. That got a little big, but this will be good eating for tonight, I think. Perhaps some quick pickles with the burgers tonight. Well, I hope you enjoyed the garden tour. You know, this garden has brought me a lot of peace in a very stressful time through the pandemic, and has made my life richer, and I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. If you don't have enough to make a raised bed, or you live in an apartment complex, consider putting in a few container plants. You can do a lot of things in containers, even growing trees. And later this week, I'm going to show you one of my other dilemmas, because I think as a society we're perhaps wasting a lot of space that could be used to grow food. Good food. Food that doesn't taste like what you get in the grocery store. So, get a tomato plant, put it in a container, and see what you get. Try some heirloom varieties. They have a lot of taste that some of your hybrids don't have. Have a great weekend full of bountiful blossoms and blessings, and may your week be the same.